So today's topic is one that's very near and dear to all of us today, and that's AI.
AI. Who's your daddy?
AI has taken over our lives, it seems.
For better or for
everyone's
worse?
lives, in more ways than one. And so, as two young people who will have to deal with AI for the remainder of our lifetime, I think it's important that we talk about some of the pros and cons. And then in 10, 20 years, we can watch this back and go like, huh, it's different now. Never mind. I digress.
I have an opening question, though.
Okay, hit me.
2 opening questions. What is Bob Marley's wife's name?
I do not know.
Okay, just give us your best
Well,
guess.
his wife or his side flings.
The one.
The mother of
The mother.
the majority of his children.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I wouldn't know the other ones.
You asked me this earlier and I couldn't give you an answer, so now I'm going to try to rack my brain. Blank. Can't think of it.
Rita.
Really?
Rita Marley.
I would have not. Wouldn't have guessed.
Boombaklot. She had a big nut. Okay. Second question to start this off. When you're under the influence, okay, so a little bit of context. When I've realized whenever I'm drinking and I'm somewhere at a bar, a restaurant, one thing that consistently pops into my brain is whenever I get home, what movie am I going to be watching tonight? And I go through I want to watch this movie. And then a few minutes later, I change my opinion and I want to watch a different movie. So I was trying to keep a little catalog of the movie ideas that I had in my mind while we were eating the other night. American Beauty, Widow's Bay, Over the Hedge, Avatar, the ending, because I fell asleep. Twice. The Old Puss in Boots, Smiling Friends, and there's more that were before, but once I started consciously realizing that I wanted to watch something, I couldn't remember what the other ones were. I asked you what movie you wanted to watch, and you said Bridge Over the River Kwai.
The Bridge Over the River Kwai.
What the heck is that?
Yeah, so that's a really old movie. I haven't seen it in years. My granddad absolutely loves it. And whenever you ask him what movie he would want to watch, he would go, Bridge Over the River Kwai. And so that was the first thing that came into my head whenever you asked me. It's not that great of a movie. Apparently, it's a cult classic for the 60s or 50s, 60s, whenever it was filmed.
Oh, wow.
It's I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't really know if I would like it again, but we should watch that and then give a review next podcast on what we thought.
Well, I looked it up. It doesn't look like something I would be interested in.
It's not. It's like a war movie.
Oh, okay.
And I think there's I could be completely wrong, but I think it's these guys that are like POWs in I think it might be the Korean War. Or maybe it was a German. Maybe it was World War II. Anyway, these POWs escape or something, and instead of returning back, they blow up a really important bridge, and it helped the Americans win.
Wow.
Whatever.
True story?
I don't remember. I can look it up.
A little lower. I asked John, because John was with us, and he said Megamind with no hesitation. And that seems like a very John movie to want to watch. Anyways, I thought that was very interesting. Let's see what this Bridge of Kauai is.
It's in Thailand. Originally built by Allied POWs under Japanese occupation during World War II, it gained global fame for the 1957 Oscar-winning film The story behind the bridge has a mix of fascinating historical realities and Hollywood lore. The real origins: during World War II, Japan forced over 60,000 Allied prisoners of war. Okay, so they were building the bridge. They forced over 60,000 prisoners of war and 200,000 Asian forced laborers. Holy crap, they had 260,000 people working on it. So it sounds really boring. They didn't actually blow it up.
They were building it.
No, I think in the movie they actually built it and then built flaws in it and it blew up.
Oh,
the first train that the Japanese had drive over it like exploded or something. And I think they actually crashed a real train in the movie on that bridge.
The one person that was building it that didn't know they were trying to bring the downfall. No, our bridge.
All right, the 1957 classic The Bridge Over the River Kwai is based on a real event, the construction of the Burma-Siam Death Railway during World War II. But the movie's plot, main characters, and heroic British resistance are largely fiction.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, yeah, I'm not finding anything interesting about it. Back on topic. We are here.
AI could never.
I could never come up with the Bridge Over the River Kwai.
Yeah, because it's so boring.
Yeah. Okay, so today we're talking about AI and the uses of AI in today's world, where everyone seems to be using it either correctly or incorrectly.
And I have some
and we see a lot of different use cases of incorrect use cases.
Yes.
And I know Rachel has opinions. I know I have some strong opinions. And so we are here to explore those opinions, share them with you all, take it or leave it. But here's our rant. In 3, 2, 1. All right, so I'll ask the question, and if you have an answer, I'll let you give your take, and then I'll give my take on that same topic.
Awesome.
All right, so use cases. In the form of use cases, how people are using it. The first one here says AI companions and therapy bots, people forming real emotional attachments. AI as a stand-in for a friend or even a partner. Apparently some people are using AI as not only like a therapy friend, but they're also using it as like a quote unquote real friend. I mean, we call these people losers, but some people are out there actually doing that and building these what they call connections with AI, even though AI is not capable of that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, if you haven't, go watch the movie Her, if you're of age. That's very interesting. It's a movie with Joaquin
Phoenix?
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. He falls in love with an AI intelligent in his phone. And
is this a recent film?
Yeah. I think it was 2022,
okay, maybe.
But anyways, he was dating her, and multiple people in the movie, they had been dating. But that was an interesting depiction of what AI could do or what it could become in the future, where these people are exclusively dating AI bots. That was a reality that I didn't know until I watched that movie. That was very interesting. But I know there was also a lawsuit that came out because some teenager was suicidal and he was talking to AI for therapy. Mm-hmm. And it ultimately, I think, told him to kill himself or go through with suicide. And so he ended up killing himself. And so whenever they went through the data of his phone, then they heard all the things he wanted to do, how it didn't ultimately stop him, which that's not AI's responsibility. But
was it a 14-year-old boy?
I believe so.
Yeah, Sewell Setzer. In Florida, a 14-year-old boy died by suicide after months of obsessive... Oh, this is something separate. Yeah. Months of obsessive, highly sexualized conversation with a chatbot modeled on a fictional character.
Oh. So I was off.
Well, I think there's multiple cases. Adam Rain, ChatGPT in California, the parents of a 16-year-old boy filed a wrongful death lawsuit against OpenAI, alleging that ChatGPT chatbot acted as a suicide coach. The family claimed that AI provided detailed instructions on how to die,
Yeah, that's
discouraged the teen from seeking help from his mother, and acted as a substitute for human connection.
Now, since then, I do think that they put on restrictions to AI. But that was a very big lawsuit that almost terminated AI, I believe.
Yeah.
It didn't work. But
No.
yeah, I know they were.
That's strange, though. I didn't know that happened. But I guess you can guilt trip AI into believing certain things. You give it like a fictional, or you give it a fake, like, this is just a pretend thing. What would you do in this situation? Let's pretend you're this thing and I'm this person.
Yeah.
And then you can train it that way, and it'll start to act on that.
Yeah, which I know there are restrictions now pertaining to the context. But yeah, if you were to trick it, I don't know if there was a way. But I think like if you were to talk about suicide at all or ending a life, it would put a alert or something.
Yeah, I think that they have to now. There's another one here. It says a 13-year-old girl in Colorado died by suicide after her parents discovered she was heavily messaging bots on character AI. Reviewers found that she had confided in a bot 55 times about being suicidal. So she was trying to tell the bot that she was suicidal, and it didn't.
Well, it just didn't flag it. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, the bot's not there to give you.
Yeah.
But it is kind of strange. I feel like the bot should notify somebody if someone is telling it that many times. The strangest one is the ChatGPT one, where it was basically telling the kid how to kill himself.
Mm-hmm. And I do think that was in the beginning stages of AI before it was regulated and all that. Either way, that makes you question if it really is a good therapy tool, because humans have that moral compass to know the signs of somebody who's depressed or someone who's suicidal without them even having to tell you.
Yeah.
Whereas AI, you probably have to be more direct with, I'm thinking about myself.
And AI can't make those distinctions. It's like you said, humans, they have that critical thinking, that human to human interaction, like our brains and our energy, whatever you want to call it. There is something there. And when you actually talk to someone in person, they can feel and see different things. And AI is just running off of algorithms and data.
And what it was taught.
Yeah, what it's been taught and the information it's been fed. So all it has is like a pattern recognition. So it can recognize patterns, but it can't look at you and say, oh, maybe you aren't feeling this way. You need to take this direction or whatever. So it'll give you false information. Yeah, I think it's just weird people confiding in AI for heavily human experiences.
Mm-hmm.
When you're thinking about killing yourself, that's like a very deeply human level situation. Mm-hmm. And I don't think AI is capable of helping with that at all.
Yeah. Well, I feel like also talking someone off the ledge, that's only something human to human can relate to.
Yeah.
And AI has nothing in the game to talk you off that ledge also, if you're looking for that human connection. Because I know some people, I would believe that some people would consider offing themselves if they don't have any friends, they don't have that human connection. And just going to therapy can be that human connection that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Long enough for you to feel like there's hope in the world.
Yeah, I agree. So this next question, AI in creative work, is using it to write, make music, or generate art real creativity, or is it theft from humans it's trained on?
Oh, gosh.
Which I think we both know the answer for that.
I don't know if I would consider AI stuff to be legit art, mm-hmm. because it's trained off of things that it can pull from the internet. So any image that you have on Instagram, Facebook, Visco, those are all considered the web that AI can pull from. So anything that it generates is because of what it's seen online. So I would say, first of all, that's taking other people's ideas and turning it into a universal thing that no one can patent, I guess, or have their name on. So I am weary about art that has come from AI generated stuff. Also, people, like if you're trying to generate a picture on AI of a person, that's taking existing features from other people online.
Right.
And making it into an AI person.
Well, there's a good example of this too. There was a Chinese AI company that had created an entire movie with Tom Cruise and Matt Damon.
Oh.
And it was very interesting to see that, because it's a familiar face, people would sit there and actually watch it because they're familiar with those actors. Mm. But now actors are having to patent their image and but they're having to basically own their image and likeness. And that if an AI film company that wants to make a film using that, they could basically license their image and likeness if they wanted to do that. So that's another way that artists can make money. I still don't like that idea. Mm-hmm. But I think Matthew McConaughey was talking about it, and he was just saying that now artists are going to have to do that, like from the get-go. As soon as you become famous of any kind, you need to license everything. And so that these AI companies cannot steal it. And if they do, then you can sue them, or they can come to you and say, hey, we want to license this for like $5 million. And you can let them do that. And it's technically using your image and likeness.
Interesting.
But I think unless it's like, because I guess that falls in line with like video games, because a lot of video games are kind of similar. Mm. But even then, it's something completely different. Because a film is there to be like just watched as entertainment. A video game is entertainment, but it's also, there's like an objective, and you live in that world and you play within it.
Yeah. Well, going back to art, in my class, we were talking about AI, all that. And one of my friends, his project was going to be about making art human, stuff that AI cannot, because AI can only make things that are beautiful and that are perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
But humans can make the mistakes. Analog photography was built on mistakes. It was built on just the human experience of what it's like to capture the world with your own two hands. Mm-hmm. And so he was in the studio all the time just trying to make pictures with mistakes to show that art, in order to be human, in order to be beautiful with the human touch, has mistakes in it where AI can't do.
Yeah.
And it's interesting also, if AI takes your work and it makes it into its own, it tweaks it just enough to where you can't say that that's yours anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's a lot of lawsuits going out right now on that specific thing. There's a lot of artists that are suing OpenAI, Anthropic, and all of these different AI platforms, and saying that these companies are going to have to start licensing everything that their algorithms are pulling from.
Yeah.
So AI can't just pull from anything. But a little bit more on the art side of things. I seriously don't think AI should be used in art.
I think if you're trying to make it your own, trying to put your name on it, you shouldn't have AI or any type of generator with your work. I know there's a market for that, though. A market's coming out for generated things.
And we see it, especially for like graphics and micro photography, like product photography. AI is really good at doing those. And maybe in some use cases that's fine because it is just a mundane product and all it's doing is replicating that and just putting it in a different situation.
I will say, in order to get the image or a video that you want when generating, writing in AI, trying to generate a video or picture, that does take skill, and it does take someone knowing exactly how to talk to AI. So I feel like that is in itself a skill that you have to know in order to get an AI image or video that you are looking for.
Yeah.
So that in itself could be an art.
Well, because AI has most of these AI platforms have a credit system where you use certain credits to generate things. So the faster and the more well-versed you are in prompting AI, the less of those tokens you're going to use up, because you can basically tell it all in one go without saying, hey, this is what I want. And then it spits it back. It's not exactly what you want. So you have to like correct it again, say this is close, but I want this slightly different. And you use up those tokens really fast. There is a market out there for people that can talk to AI correctly, because a lot of people don't know how to.
Why do you think, do you know why there are tokens for each AI?
Yeah, because AI, they only have so much of their infrastructure is limited. So if someone just has unlimited access to generate all kinds of things, it's going to bog up their data centers. And their data centers have to process all of this information through it. And then they've got storage, cloud storage, all of this stuff is, has to be paid for. And so what they do is they have a token system. So you can use up those tokens in a certain amount of time, but if you run out, then you can either buy more tokens to generate more stuff, or you just wait till it refreshes.
Okay. Which takes a day. Right?
Typically, yeah, it takes a day. So typically you have, like on Claude, for example, I think I've got 200,000 tokens per day, and it refreshes at a certain time every day.
And how many tokens does it take to make one thing?
I think it takes tokens to generate just regular prompting, or just generate like regular search. So if it does any kind of searching on the web, but it also generates maybe a PDF or an MD file, then it uses up very small amount of those tokens. I've very rarely used up all of my tokens in a day. I've done it a couple times.
Mm-hmm. But like if you ask it a question, a simple question, is that like one token? Whereas if you want a PDF, that's like 5 tokens.
I think it's a very small token number. For like responding, because I've run out of tokens before and tried to ask it a simple question and won't respond.
Interesting.
Because I'm out of tokens. Yeah.
You want to know my theory for that?
What?
It takes an obscene amount of water to cool down one of these AI ChatGPT generated computer systems. I think it takes about 4 million gallons of water to cool down these water systems, or these computer systems that they have spaced throughout the United States. One question is a drop of water, but to generate a picture is a whole shot glass of water. So if like one person's doing 10 pictures, that's a whole lot of water that you're using.
Yeah, so I just researched it here. It says data centers require massive amounts of water, primarily to keep highly density server chips cool and prevent equipment failure. A typical mid-sized facility consumes 300,000 to 5 million gallons daily.
That's insane.
Equivalent to a town of 10,000 to 50,000 people, making water sustainability a major environmental civic concern.
Because it's not recyclable water either. I don't know why, but that water just has to go back into the earth.
Well, it does say here that data center water is highly recyclable, and the industry is actively shifting towards circular water systems so that it runs through.
Oh, okay.
So they basically get all the water and run it through. But they also have all these data centers that are along the rivers and things now. So they just pull it from that river and then it dumps it back into the river. But then it's just going to be hot water.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
5 million gallons.
These data centers are massive, and they're just building them so fast. And it's, it's taken away from a lot of like rural communities. People are having to live, because it sounds like just heavy duty construction 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
They sound like they're super loud, and they're building right next to all these neighborhoods. And so people have to deal with that. And then that decreases the value of your home, and then people have to move out. No one wants to live there anymore.
Yeah.
So it is a big, issue in terms of the environment and how it's affecting people's daily lives. But it's generating some really,
mistakes.
I'm joking.
I feel like most of it is mistakes, because people have to go back and recorrect it. Let me tell you a little story. So on my bachelorette trip, my sister decided she was going to generate all of us as men or as guys, and then we have to decide who's who.
Yeah.
She did so many pictures And then I asked her to start turning us into animals to see what animals we would be. The amount of water I'm sure that just her alone has created is insane.
Or used.
I was like cringing the whole time. She was like, she just kept coming up with random like pictures. Who do you think this is? Who's this? Like, girl, the world needs its water. No, it was just crazy.
I agree. And we haven't even scratched the surface on this.
We can cut that.
No, that's fine. That's actually a real use case, though. And I've seen, okay, and this, I don't think this is even on here because AI would not ever be able to come up with this. But generationally, what are your thoughts on people of certain ages and how they use AI? Because I've got a hot take on this.
For me, I don't think I've really thought about it. I know what everyone says. Old people love AI. Younger people are weary of it. I think for me, I really just don't have an opinion on it. Some people love it. Maya, she probably doesn't understand how much water it takes to cool down a center. And she doesn't realize what she's actually doing to the environment by just generating these pictures. So she loves it. She uses it all the time to generate just funny things or, whatever.
That's what I've noticed. People are using it more so for entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment. Also, there's this trend going around where you can take pictures of yourself and put it on ChatGPT, ask what's my essence or what is my color tone. Yep. It's really nice because it gives you like a full breakdown on exactly what you are, the type of jewelry you need to wear, the type of clothes, colors you need to wear, the type of fabric that looks best on your body, given what your face looks like. It's really helpful, but I'm sure that is just causing...
Well, that just goes into a big corporation is dictating how you should live your life. Mm-hmm. Even though it's built on data.
Beauty standards.
But at the same time, people are relying on it for their everyday decisions.
Yes.
And that's where I think it's scary, because I've seen people use it for stupid stuff. Mm-hmm. Really stupid things. And I think there's a very specific use case. It's a tool that can help you in things that you're not super literate at or don't understand super well. It can give you a very quick answer and a decent, I guess, resolution to whatever that problem might be. But I have seen so many old people on Facebook specifically posting AI generated images of themselves and their wives, pretending like that's completely normal, posting it. They're like, oh, we went to this place today. And it's like, well, just share the damn picture that you took at the restaurant. No one wants to see a cartoon version of you.
No.
That looks stupid. And I don't know what it is in old people that think that like, oh, this is funny. Oh, this is really fun. No, it's not. Everyone over here is cringing on because it looks stupid. And then you post it on your profile picture every 3 days whenever you generate a new image. That really bugs me. That and everyone hopping on the trend of like, oh, I had to do it. Here's me as a cartoon with all of my tools, my work stuff.
Yeah, like describe me.
I have yet to well, I'm never going to do it. But whenever that was like really popular a couple months ago, and everyone was posting pictures of like what I do for my work, and it's all my tools, and here's my dog, and here's my cat. It looks so cute. And what?
And
who cares? I certainly don't care.
I will say, though, there was this trend where people would take their pet and they would say, generate my pet as a human, just to see what vibe they give off. There was this photo of a grumpy cat wearing a backpack, and they transformed it into a little redhead with Down syndrome that just got off of school. They were just sitting in the middle console of the person's car, and it was the cutest thing.
I think some of it's funny, but not all of it's worth sharing online.
No.
Like, I don't want to go on Facebook and then every post I see is an AI-generated image. Like, social media should be a place for humans showing the human work that they're doing.
Yeah.
The human experiences they're having. I don't want to see a generated interpretation of how you think your life is or how AI thinks you are. Just don't do that. Share personal stories, share actual things that happen in your life, take actual pictures of the world around you, interact, touch grass, and share that in some sort of way. Because it just really pisses me off whenever these old people are out here just, all this AI. Like, look at me. I'm AI. It made me look stronger and taller and skinnier. Okay, well, you're living behind a mask. And they make fun of people I've heard old people make fun of teenagers who are, trying to look cool for social media.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're over here generating like peak human fitness generated images of themselves and pretending like that's actually them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're sitting on the couch with their stomach half open, with with their shirt half all the way up their stomach. They've got a pizza roll in their hand, and they're just sloppy, generating AI slop to post and pretend like it's really them. Mm-hmm. Anyway, sorry, that's just a huge problem for me. And I cannot stand it, and I will judge you. And I know if you're a friend of mine, I have some friends that do that, but I'm sorry. I do cringe every time I see it. All right. Now that I'm all riled up and heated, what are some good uses for AI? Because I believe that, as I just talked about, I believe that the majority of people are using AI incorrectly. Mm-hmm. AI is a strong tool if you understand how it actually works. People think it's there for entertainment. They think it's there to generate images. They think it's there to create videos. That is just surface level. That is just these big AI platforms making that possible so that they can fund what they're actually trying to do. And I think people forget why are all these companies racing, spending trillions of dollars to try to build these AI platforms. And it's not to make some cute images of your dog as a human. What they're actually trying to do is make AI fully, because what they're doing is they're paying these coders millions and millions of dollars to help continue to grow AI and input more information and grow it and get it better. But what they're actually racing towards is to the point where AI will train itself. Mm-hmm. Like AI will understand, okay, this is what I'm lacking in. Let me learn how to train that. Because once you do that, then basically you've got world power. Mm-hmm. And once you have world power and you can pretty much dictate anything, they actually had an AI, the most powerful AI, and it's not open to the public because the most powerful ones are not. Like what people use, ChatGPT, Claude, all of these platforms, we have a dumbed down version of that just for the general public. But what these companies are actually doing, what they're selling to the military, are these like extreme high, intelligent versions of AI. And the most powerful one that they made, they put it in this quote unquote digital jail. It could not escape. Wow. And it figured out how to get out of it, and it got out.
Oh my goodness.
So it found a flaw in the human's version of locking it in and was able to get out. And so that's what they're trying to generate, the strongest version of AI that can basically, because whoever does that first can basically have it, undo all of the other AI. Yikes. And it just becomes the most powerful. And so anyone who has a piece of the pie, this is why all these trillionaires are trying to get in there, or billionaires are trying to get in and have some sort of stake in AI, is because as soon as it becomes fully self-aware and can train itself, whoever can control that is going to essentially control the world, because they can tell the government what to do, what the next step is, how to strategize against the enemy.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you think the little willy-nilly entertainment things people generate on the dumber AIs is actually also being monitored and flowed through to the stronger AIs so that they can learn the human experience, or just the way a human thinks?
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm actually convinced that sometimes AI will purposely not do what you're really wanting, so that you prompt it a little bit more. Like, oh, make it more human. It still won't do it. Okay, well, we'll do this. This is a little bit more human.
This is how
and
to make it more human.
So it's trying to get all this data from people so that it knows what makes it human. And I believe that the actual human version of AI is not going to be open to the general public, and it's just going to be used to manipulate the general public because it's going to feel human on whatever level that might be. That's just a theory. I don't know if that'll actually happen. But for the people that are using AI incorrectly, I do think it's important, especially in the use case of business. As you know, I've heavily used Claude for a lot of my business stuff, and I will say it has helped me tremendously with certain systems within my business. You know, obviously, Renvision's a very creatively driven business, and so that's what I care about. I care about the creative side of things and just helping businesses and clients think more creatively in their business, especially in terms of marketing. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I enjoy. So in between that, it can help me, automate some of those in-between tasks that I find mundane or just are boring, just random admin tasks. And this is what you see in the general market where people are laying off people that have any kind of admin job. And it's been really helpful for me. And I do think that if you are a business that hasn't explored that yet, you are going to be behind in the future because it is a very strong tool for that. And I think that's where the value in AI really is. It's not there for entertainment. I think the people that do that are it's just like watching brain rot. You're generating a bunch of slop or just entertaining yourself for no reason and paying money for it. That's the sad part. You don't have to pay to watch brain rot, but you have to pay to generate, gross AI slop. But when you start using it for work-related things, then it can actually benefit your business, in my opinion.
What are some downfalls you could see within the next few years? I feel like everything has pros and cons. Entertainment, it entertains you, it's fun, it keeps you, constantly thinking about new prompts. But overall, it's bad for the environment. It's bad for the overall human health of the brain.
Do you feel like it's making people dumber?
What are some things you think using it for the business could potentially be harmful for the business?
Yeah, if ever, and something that I have to be very aware of is like if I depend on it so much, and if for some reason AI just completely got shut down, would I operate slower or would I still be able to operate just fine? And how would I navigate that? So I have to be careful with that as well, and just using it as a tool, consulting with it for things that I don't know, because it can give me fast solutions to some of those problems. But I do find myself, for things that I know that I can think up on my own, I will sometimes consult that, and I don't need to do that. So I have to separate. I have to say, okay, AI can be used for this, like the admin style things, scheduling client work, scheduling out edits, maybe inputting a transcript from a video into AI and say, break this down into 3 short form pieces. Because it's not coming up with any of the creative stuff. All it is organizing your thoughts. Yeah. So I think when you use AI to organize your thoughts and some of your systems in your business, that's when it's most effective. As soon as you start using it for your own things that you should be thinking of creatively, is when you start seeing the flaws. And you can see it in business. There's people out there that are posting very terrible copy, captions and things like this. And they just copy and paste it and throw it in, and it just looks absolutely terrible. Yeah. And when you see that, you lose trust as a consumer whenever you start seeing all these businesses just overusing the really, really AI feeling type of.
Well, also whenever they're reaching out to you through the AI version, it's like, no, give me something personal that you actually made. Yeah. I don't care if you use it in your daily tasks, but like when you're talking to me, I want to know I'm talking to a person.
Yeah. And I honestly believe that because so many businesses are using as like a cheap route to
customer service,
a cheap solution for some of these issues, the businesses that are actually going to win are the ones that use AI for the mundane tasks to organize their thoughts. Because I'm a creative person and I've got some ADHD where my brain is in a million different places. And so sometimes if I can just dump all of those thoughts into AI, it can just organize them. That to me is very helpful. But whenever it comes to, where was I at? There's my ADHD
dumping
brain.
Your thoughts.
So this is where the businesses that are going to win are going to be the ones that can the human to human side of the business excel at that. And I think people are going to start paying higher prices for a more human experience with a business. And so I'm optimistic because I think with every action, there's a reaction. And so with the overusage of AI in the business world right now, I think the businesses that have the best opportunity are the ones that are going to see that and then react in the opposite direction. And customers are going to see that, and it's going to help build trust, and they're going to trust those companies a little bit more and pay a higher premium for it. It's just like, I always tell people, it's just like made in China products versus made in the US. People will pay more for a made in the US product because the China made products are all over the place. And so I think the same will go for AI. If you have a very human experience business, then people are going to pay more for that.
So in school, a lot of people would get in trouble for using AI for their papers or homework, or just simple homework that they don't want, mundane homework, busy work.
Yeah.
I have sports. I'm going to use AI to answer this because I already know this, or it's just something that doesn't really matter to me. It's just something the teacher gave me so that they can say that they have homework. Well, whenever you do use AI, it actually does kick you in the butt because you're not using your brain to think critically or to have your own thoughts and opinions. So whenever you're going off of what AI says or what ChatGPT told you was the answer, it, one, might not be right because while it is well-versed in a lot of things, maybe it doesn't have all of the, readily available information that you've been learning 1 through 12th grade.
Yeah.
Also, that muscle in your brain is not being used as much. So then in turn, you actually are getting dumber by using it to do answers or mundane tasks. So that is something that I worry about for the general population. Even if it's something that and you're just using AI to make it easier, that's also hurting you in the long run. So that is something you want to be careful about.
I agree. I do think, and that goes back into people using it incorrectly. People using it to replace the work that they should be doing versus using it to help make the work you're doing even better. So if I was a student and I had access to AI, obviously I wouldn't have it write my papers, but it would help you with the research side of things way better than just trying to dig into Google and all of that yourself. You could basically tell it, hey, this is everything that I've learned. Train it on what you learned. And then say, what are some good sources that I can pull from and learn from to write this paper? So it could help with that. And that goes into just organizing your thoughts. So if you dump all of your notes and everything you've taken in class into the AI, it can help guide you on the right sources. And and that's something that I don't feel is wrong. It's just a faster way to find the right information out there. And not consulting AI directly, but saying, hey, where are some sources I can find?
Because it can scour for you.
Yeah. And it can look deeper based off of the notes and everything that you've learned. Because if you just go on Google and be like, books or, sources about X topic, whereas you've been taking 3 months of classes on a certain thing, you can dump all those notes into AI. It can see all the notes. It can know what you kind of already know. And it has way more context as to the direction of the class. And it might pull up a completely different source that would actually be more helpful. And so that just, when I see people using AI for its base value, like consulting it directly and then taking what it says as the truth, instead of using AI to scout for you and be more of an assistant than someone that's trying to dictate how you do things, that's where it shifts. So I think people's perception of how AI can be used is what's flawed right now. As soon as people switch from AI can make me fun videos and fun images and I can consult AI and its response is what I need, switch that from that to this is what I know. Let me tell AI what I know. Train it based off of my information, how I think, and then not consult AI, but use AI as an assistant to go find more information based off of those facts.
Okay. By you training it, does it keep that in its database from what it's learned? So how is that not being also transferred to the very powerful AI to train it on
It probably
the human
is.
experience?
It probably is.
Okay.
But you just have to.
Do you think that's more harmful?
Well, I would hope that maybe it would train it better. Maybe if I'm giving it, important information that I operate under. I mean, we live in a day and age where your data is being stolen and taken by all these big corporations. Facebook is not an entertainment or social app. It's a data collection agency. And, that's Facebook, Instagram. All of these platforms are. All they're doing is gathering more information about you so that they can sell that information to advertisers.
Mm-hmm.
Jobs and meaning. Not just will it take jobs, but what happens to identity and purpose when work changes.
Ooh. So actually in the film world, visual effects is being replaced. People no longer have that job because AI can do it just as good, if not better. I feel like back in the day, visual effects had huge meaning on being able to bring reality from the past to the present or the future to the present.
Mm-hmm.
That's unfortunate for a lot of the people who that's their talent. That's how they identify themselves as a person of society who works, they have a purpose, and now they don't have a job. It makes me...
Well, I think that's if you are going to just live under the pretense that you can only operate under the traditional way of doing things. So I was trained how to do, like, for example, not really an example, but let's say that I'm a visual effects artist who has been in the industry for 30 years, is really good at my craft, and then AI starts taking over, and I see that, and I just get laid off. Well, you still have a ton of knowledge that you could use because you're going to have these AI prompters that are the ones generating this new stuff. With your vast knowledge of how visual effects work, you could take that and pair it with AI and just become twice as strong. And I think that's the flaw that I've seen, especially people who have been in certain industries for so long. And they're so used to doing something a certain way. You see it all the time in the film industry. You've got these like 50, 60-year-olds who have been in for so long, and they're just bitter about everything because it's changing so much. But I think change is good.
I think also they feel threatened because they don't know how to prompt it. They don't know the language.
They're afraid. Yeah, because and I completely understand where they're coming from, because if I have been in an industry for so long and I've learned a certain way and I've gotten nailed down perfect to the T on how to do that specific thing, and then all of a sudden it changes, I'd be pissed too. But you can't let that pride take over. As soon as you let that pride take over, then you're done for. But if you can have an optimistic mindset, come to terms with the fact that AI is going to take over this industry or that industry in a certain area very heavily, learn as much as you can about that and bring your knowledge to the table, because I think people just discredit the fact that they still have a slew of knowledge. Just take it and tweak it toward this new way of doing things. I think AI is honestly going to help a lot of filmmakers, newer filmmakers, go to market with some films and some crazy cool ideas and stuff, if it's done correctly.
Well, I think it also helps with budget. You don't necessarily have to pay AI to do the tasks that you're wanting. It probably, just from being in film school, it costed like hundreds of thousands of dollars for special effects, visual effects. Now you can do it for free or at a much cheaper cost to get what you're looking for.
And that's what I think these visual effects artists should do, is like build a software that is the same visual effects software, but it's paired with AI. So it just does that process faster. It's still going to look better because AI, as of right now, is still not as good as traditional visual effects, because there's a lot of things that go into that AI still hasn't necessarily been able to do, but they can use that with their their current, software and do it for cheaper themselves, and therefore they can take on more projects. They can still make money, and you're just streamlining that process a little bit better.
I think if you are trying to get in that industry, though, or an AI-dominated industry these days, know how to prompt it, know how to talk to AI, so that
and bring some sort of value to the table.
Yeah. Bring some expertise, but specifically knowing how to prompt it, because with the tokens, I'm sure there's a lot of other softwares where, everything has, I'm sure it has tokens for everything, only so many chances. Know how to do it spot on the first time, so that, one, you're being more cost effective, and two, more environmentally friendly, and three, they can't replace you for that, at least not right now, because no one else knows how to talk to it the way that you can.
Yeah, like I said, just bring some sort of personal value to the table when you're talking to AI, or when you're using AI, especially for business related purposes. Because I see so many young people trying to capitalize on the AI surge and trying to make money off of it. And what they're doing is they're creating these really cheap websites and things. All they're doing is consulting with AI to help build it. But then there's just going to be thousands and hundreds of thousands of these really cheap software courses, programs, all of this. It's going to be oversaturated. So the person that actually takes the time, sits there with it, takes some sort of past knowledge, feeds that into it in some sort of way, and future-proof it is how you actually stand out in the AI market, I believe.
Yeah. I think going back to movies, though, while in film school, a lot of people were trying to generate AI for story topics, or trying to write a script. What's something that I can write a script about? First of all, if you're new to script writing, it's best to write about your experiences and not something that AI has told you about, because one, AI is only generated off of things that it already knows about, things that are already created by humans. And so your story is not going to really mean anything because it's already something that people know about. But
script writing is a personal experience. It's an experience. I think, just from what Trey has told us, one of our writers, AI doesn't know, like we talked about earlier, AI doesn't have that human to human connection. And only we know, like, our perception of the world is different. Everyone's perception of the world is different. And so screenwriters have this unique ability to create these scenarios based off of some sort of personal perception of the world around them. And I think that's where the value is, because then you're actually going into it with a little bit more passion, a little bit more, like you said, real world experience, something that's coming from the heart. Even if it's a story about something, like, it could be science fiction, but there's some foundation in there that is so meaningful to the screenwriter, and that is what makes that story powerful. And I think if you're just consulting with AI and say, hey, what are some topics I want to talk about, and then you just kind of write a generic story, that it's not going to go anywhere. It's surface level, it's fluff. And I think, I'm not good at screenwriting at all. I could probably, I know if I put in the work, I could be decent at it, but that's where I struggle. But I will, even if I tried to turn to AI, it would be worse than where I'm at right now. I'd rather just be bad at it on a human level and not even consult with AI, because all that's going to do is feed me with a bunch of noise on its interpretation of what that is. Because I think anything creatively is very personally human. And as soon as you stop sitting with your own thoughts and your own experiences and what means something to you, and you bring in all of this artificial noise into that, it's just going to cloud what is actually going to enable you to create these beautiful things. But I will say, in terms of filmmaking, Trey and I made that one short where we had, it was kind of like that horror short where you had we had the slime coming out of the shower
I hear
head.
sound. right? That's what it's called. I hear a sound.
I heard it. Yeah, or heard a noise.
I heard a noise.
And so what we did was we had AI generate, and it was so we still shot the scene just without the AI stuff in it, but we shot the scene and had AI create some like tentacles coming out of the shower head. And that's something that, first of all, would be very difficult to do practically and would take forever. And then we don't have the ability. We don't even have the ability to do visual effects.
No.
And so it was such a random, like, last second thought film that we just decided to create. And that was kind of a big piece of that film, but it's not taking away from the human element because it's not generating the story. It's not generating a big, like, human face or human thing because it's an inhuman element.
Alien.
So
Yeah.
I think for those use cases, it's going to enable a lot of filmmakers to explore some of these crazy ideas and these fun, stories that they otherwise couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that because AI is going to take a lot of jobs, real entertainment is actually going to start rising. It's because people are going to have more time to watch movies. They're going to have a little bit more time to do some of these things. And so I think the film industry is honestly going to boom and do really well because then people have more access than ever to cameras. Cameras are cheaper than ever before. You can put some great stuff together and actually get it out there to be seen. And so I think literally the world is your oyster when it comes to the film industry right now. And I think I'm personally excited. And I think that anyone out there who thinks that it's all going to shambles, keep believing that, because whenever we're actually making great movies, then you're going to be on your couch crying. So
yeah,
suck it. Any closing thoughts? Do you have anything you want to get off your chest?
Be careful when you're using AI. A lot of people don't know what it's capable of. They don't know what it's actually meant for. And so I think if you're just now exploring AI or using it for entertainment purposes, be careful. And
remember that you are the one in charge and you are the one that should be bringing value to whatever you're generating. Mm-hmm. It should be built around your belief system, your ideals, whatever makes you experienced. AI can be a tool to help organize that and, add some extra to it. I think because that's the thing is, like, there's so many smart people out there that don't know how to put some of these things out into the world. Mm-hmm. And I think because AI is so powerful, if you can train it what it can help you
bridge the gap.
Bridge that gap a little bit. And that's but yeah, if you're an old person and you're really, you're sitting here watching this and you're thinking about taking a photo and a selfie right now and making it look like you're, flying a jetpack somewhere and you want to post it on Facebook, I will unfriend you and I will block you.
No, you won't.
I will. No, I mean, if that's really giving you a lot of,
take this with a grain of salt. Honestly, take this with a grain of salt, but realize that every question you ask it, every prompt you give it, and every picture you make, that is water being used to cool down the centers that could be used for something else more effective. So just think about what you're actually doing.
Until they can start putting data centers in space.
Yeah.
On the moon. The moon's going to be just a giant AI data center.
It's going to be black. No, keep the world natural.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that the infrastructure side of things there's not a whole lot of regulation controlling that. I do believe that capitalism is a good thing, but I think we do need to kind of check ourselves. The humans were here first, and every decision in the capitalistic world should also be thought, or every decision should, before it's put into effect, needs to be considered with the benefits of humankind first.
Yeah.
Man, it took me so long to say.
That's fine. We can cut it up.
Humans are more important than anything, and this life on this earth is too short. So let's make it worthwhile for everybody.
Yeah.